One.
Welcome back, you beautiful humans, to episode 9 of the story of a quilt. Today we're going to be talking about the Chicago Cougars. If you want to know the premise of this entire series, the story of a t-shirt quilt, check out episode 1. This is episode 9. We even had half an episode, 7.5. Check that out too. It's interesting. I wore these colors. This is Camp Menominee. We talked about camp. We'll talk about it some more. On purpose, with a purpose, because it was the color of the Chicago Cougars. That's why I wore this hat. It matches their colors. Now, the Cougars were a hockey team from a league, an upstart league when I was a kid, named the World Hockey Association. They were starting these leagues that compete with hockey, with the National Hockey League. Football had a bunch of them. The USFL has been resurrected in a different form by the NFL to have like a minor league, but this was supposed to be competition with the major leagues. And the NBA had the American Basketball Association, and it was to increase players' salaries and to make money and to it's entertaining. It's organized fun with a purpose. And so there were some teams that did hold on. Now, the most successful league ever, competitor league, rebel league, if you will, was the American Football League. There was the National Football League, where I got my logo for the KFL, and the American Football League with teams like the New York Jets and the Kansas City Chiefs and the Oakland Raiders and the Miami Dolphins. And eventually they merged with the NFL, and that's why we have the NFC, the National Football Conference, and the AFC, the American Football Conference. But they were upstarts, guys like Al Davis and Lamar Hunt. They were rebels. I've always been kind of a rebel. And I was drawn to teams like the Chicago Cougars or the World Football League. This was after the AFL, the Chicago Fire. I've got a Chicago Fire t-shirt mounted, beautifully framed at our lake house in Eagle River at Ida Joe, which we're going to be talking about next episode. The Cougars played in a little barn. I talked about the barn that the Lightning started in the Expo at the fairgrounds. They played in a little barn arena called the Amphitheater, the Chicago Amphitheater, which it was so small. They had to shrink down the ice and the size of the rink. But they got some players from the Blackhawks, guys like Whitey Stapleton and others that jumped to the World Hockey Association. And so the Chicago Cougars, it was exciting. And it was a thing. And anything new and exciting and rebellious, I have been drawn to it. We started an underground newspaper when I was in high school called The One Hit, which taught people how to smoke marijuana. And I was in that. And I was also a regular reporter for the regular student newspaper. But I wanted everybody to know that I was part of this rebellion. And so I had the byline, Nelg, which is my name backwards. I actually gave myself my own nickname. I give everybody nicknames. What's your nickname, Al, that I gave you?
The Emancipator.
Well, then that was
Lincoln.
Well, I would say the Magic Man, Alex Irvin.
Right.
We won't reference what the Emancipator or Lincoln is about in this particular episode. We're just going to focus on the fact that the Cougars made a big mistake. They made their colors green and gold. That is the colors of the Green Bay Packers. And you'll notice I have green and gold in my my Coach Glenn Klein logo on purpose, with a purpose. Chicago people don't like the Packers very much. So this was not the best color scheme for that. You got to consider what you're saying and how you're saying it, what your audience is, who you're communicating to. All those things are really important. But I had a lot of fun being a rebel in my life. You can't beat genetics. Dr. Carl Zimmer's book, She Has Her Mother's Laugh, proves pretty much what we are, is genetically based. So here's this Jewish kid growing up in suburban Chicago. I opened myself up to all religions at first, and then I had a spiritual experience with Christ. Thank God. I got sucked into the cult of Christianity and Messianic Judaism for a while, but the same inquisitiveness, the same rebellion that caused me to be a Chicago Cougars fan, I studied my way into religion and I studied my way out. And I have knowledge that you couldn't have anyway. I wouldn't trade it for the world. It has literally saved my life. We'll get into that in another episode. Stay logged on. Klein.coach is the website. The blog is Coach's Corner. It's all there. Or just email me. The first session with me is for free. So it's grow@coachglennklein.com. And until next time, this is A Story of a Quilt. The Story of a Quilt.